Friends of the fighting 25th Congressional District, my name is William Marks. I'm a 22-year Navy veteran, a combat veteran, husband to a nurse, son of a public school teacher. I'm a MacArthur Foundation United Way Courage Project Award winner for taking on the Trump administration and defeating the Trump administration last year. If I did it once, I promise you I can do it again. Tonight we come together to defeat Roger Williams in Texas Congressional District. How did I get here? I fought for my country for 22 years. And I look around and say, this is not what I fought for. I didn't fight for billionaires to get richer while you're paying the taxes. I didn't fight for your health care to get stripped away by politicians in Washington, D.C. I didn't fight for schools to lose funding while your children and grandchildren need resources. That's not what I fought for. But tonight I bring you a message of hope. Because tonight I remind you who we fight for. We fight for the roofers, the ranchers, the working class, the nurses, the teachers, the tired, the poor, the huddled masses yearning to breathe free. We fight for those who have nothing, those who came from nothing, those who lace up their boots every single day because you've got to put food on the table. You've got to take care of your families. That is who we fight for. And never forget that we're proud Democrats, and that is who we fight for. Now you say, William, what do you bring to this fight? Friends, I'm a fighter. I promise you, I bring a career of service. I bring a career of achievement. When the United Nations Security Council ambassadors needed someone to lead their briefing team on Middle Eastern intelligence, I was selected to lead that team. When the Vice President of the United States needed someone to lead their North Korean briefing team, I was selected to lead that team. Not be on those teams, lead those teams. When we had to roll out a $160 billion budget from the Pentagon, I was selected to lead that rollout, and we got more money than we asked for. And finally, last year when I saw the Trump administration banning books at the U.S. Naval Academy, that is my school, the next generation of military leaders, these are not elementary school kids. These are grown adults, and they're banning books. I said, not on my watch. I put together a coalition of 1,200 people. I flew to Annapolis, Maryland, and I said, you can ban the book from the library, but you can't stop me from buying copies of all those books. And what did we do? We handed them out one by one. We put our bodies in front of the gate. You come in the gate, you get a book. You go out of the gate, you get a banned book. And friends, if I put my body in front of a gate for a banned book, I promise I will put my body in front of a gate for you. And what did we see? We were loud, we were vocal. They knew we weren't giving up. They knew we weren't going anywhere. And we looked. And they crumbled. They caved in. They reversed the policy because we were loud, because we were visible, because we were boots on the ground, not writing letters, not sending emails. We were there in front of the gate. They caved, they crumbled. I stood toe-to-toe with the Trump administration, and we came out on top. And I came home, and I said, there's a spark. When you make a promise and you keep a promise, that is the spark people want. They want you to keep your pledge. They want you to put your boots on the ground. And I said, we can do it. This is the year. This is our time together. Together, this is our time. And he may say, William, you've got some big, bold ideas here. I know that. I understand that. But remember, I'm a fighter, and I bring a career of service to this fight. How are we going to get these big, bold ideas through? We'll make billionaires pay what they owe. No more corporate welfare. No more tax loopholes. We make billionaires pay what they owe for the roads and the bridges and the infrastructure they use. We make billion-dollar corporations pay what they owe into the school system your kids and grandchildren use. We'll make billionaires pay what they owe into the healthcare system that their employees use. We'll make billionaires pay what they owe into Social Security that you use. We make billionaires pay what they owe into the power grid for the energy they use, into the water facilities for the water they use. We make these billion-dollar corporations pay what they owe, not 1% tax for Tesla, not 2% tax for Walmart, not 3% tax for Amazon. If you're paying 15 to 20% tax, they should pay 15 to 20% tax. That is how we fund these big, bold ideas. Friends, I said I'm bringing you a message of positivity. I hope I delivered. I understand this road we travel will not be easy. I cannot promise you a path without obstacles. But I can promise you, whatever we do it together. Because we lift Christ. We lift everyone up. We leave no one behind. Because the only way out is through. Thank you, ladies.